Hi, y'all. My name is Belle Boggs, and I'm here with my daughter.
Hi, my name is B, and we wrote a book called Plant Pets. Um, and it is a kid-to-kid guide on growing houseplants. And we're going to do a reading.
We were actually in Asheville a week before
Mhm.
Helene to do a reading at a beautiful little plant nursery and bookshop,
Mhm.
and working with malaprops. And a lot of our favorite people
Mhm.
live in Asheville, and we had Helene refugees here at our house
Mhm.
right after. So we've been thinking a lot about y'all, and we love Asheville. We love the mountains, and we're really honored to do this little reading for you. So we're going
Mhm.
to start with just the introduction. Maybe we'll share some plants, and then a little bit about how to get a free plant.
Yeah.
All right. This is my introduction. Bee and I are big time enthusiasts. We love getting excited about new things, new books, new swimming spots, new mountain bike trails, new ramen recipes. We're always on the lookout for something to add to our repertoire. Maybe this is why we hardly ever go to pet adoption centers. We'd wind up with a house full of animals, and for lots of reasons, that's just not possible for us. Actually, when we were in Asheville, Harriet, my younger daughter, and I went to the Black Cat Rescue and Magic Shop. And so her first question after Helene was, "How are the black kitties? And I hope they're all okay." As Bee's mom, I try to steer her to things we can enjoy together. By the time you read this book, I'm pretty sure Bee will be paddling the small blue kayak I've been saving since before she was born. But sometimes Bee will get into an activity that's far outside my experience or skill set, and I have to watch from the sidelines. I can't stand on my head. Horses make me nervous, and I still can't manage a cartwheel. When she fell in love with houseplants, I thought my long history of killing even the hardiest succulents would mean that this would remain her passion, not mine. But here's the thing about enthusiasm, it's contagious. Watching Bee tend to her little outdoor collection, following along as she's found new people to talk to about plants, and helping her research everything from the history of the Hanging Gardens of Babylon to the climate impact of moss has not only been extremely fun, it's also taught me a lot about science, history, and geography. Taking care of houseplants, or plant pets as Bee calls them, requires just a little planning and know-how. They're much easier to care for than I expected, way easier than a puppy. I hope you'll enjoy learning about the different kinds of plants, experiments, and crafts from Bee. And then I hope you do what the plant parents we've met have done for us. Share the love with someone new.
So this is my introduction. Back when I was in kindergarten, at the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, my mom brought home some sickly looking plants from her office. They were droopy and brown. I hated seeing plants like that, so I rescued them. I put them on a sunny windowsill in my bedroom. I watered them, I misted them, I checked on them after Zoom school. My mom started bringing home more plants because she noticed that I loved growing them. And so my little garden grew into a menagerie of plants. It's a menagerie of things. It's a collection of animals like in a zoo, but it can also mean an unusual collection of a wide variety of things. Uh, in first grade, I adopted even more plants and a wider variety of them. Aloe, I learned, is easy to grow and can be used to treat burns and cuts. A friend who runs a plant nursery gave me a goldfish plant, whose flowers really look like a leaping goldfish. On my birthday, I picked out a moth orchid with beautiful purple blossoms. You might think this book is just you might think this book is all about houseplants and how to grow them, and it is, but it's also about finding plants that you love. Plants can clean the air, they make your home pretty, and they're great gifts. You can even sprinkle some of them on pizza or pasta. I'll teach you how to choose the best plants for your space and your personality. and how to keep your plants happy for a long time. I'll also show you some fun activities and experiments to do with your plant pots. I bet that you learn so much that you'll be able to teach somebody else about plants.
Do you want to show the little illustration, Bee, and read
So
it? Gotta hold it up.
there is a little illustration right there, and it says, "Don't they have plant scientists at your school?" And my mom says, "I work in the English department, Bee."
So I work at NC State where there are a lot of plant scientists, just not in my department. And actually, we talked to a lot of NC State folks when we were working on this.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to read you in one little more section, or B is going to read it to you, but it's about how to get free plants, because one of the things that you might think is that you need to go to a plant shop, and those are really nice and fun to go to, but sometimes they're kind of hard for a kid's budget. So we're going to show you some of our plants that we got from just people who love plants, which is a great way to grow a plant from a cutting. And B describes how to do that in the book. This is an angel wing begonia that we got from our friend Andrew Pfeiffer at NC State, who gave us a tour of some of the gardens there and or the conservatory there. This, do you want to tell where we got this from, B?
So this is an avocado plant, and we didn't have to buy it because we accidentally grew it when we were this past summer, I believe. We threw some avocado pits in our compost. We have a big compost pile in our yard, and then a few months later, my mom brought home. My mom brought home some avocado plants, just like this one, for me to plant it. And then my mom, was like, "Hey, I think I've seen some plants like that in our compost." And so,
You can always get interesting things in the compost.
Yeah.
And then, so I'm still not that great at indoor plants. I'm much better than I was. But I've really gotten into gardening, and this is my passion right now, is growing my tomato seedlings for my garden. And these came from Asheville from So True Seed. This is a black Krim tomato from Ukraine, and I have about 20 of them. So we're going to have a lot of tomatoes this summer, and other kinds of tomatoes too. All right, how do we get a free plant pet, B?
Okay, so how maybe get a free plant pet. So the same way you might adopt a pet from somebody who has a litter of kittens or puppies, you can also adopt houseplants. The trick is starting conversations with other people, usually grown-ups, which isn't always easy. I was an only child until my sister Harriet was born, so I have lots of experience talking to my parents' friends. My tip is to ask questions. It's more polite to ask other people questions than to just zoom up and start talking about yourself. Plant people love talking about their plants, and they might just offer you a cutting or two. Usually, if you start asking questions, plant people will ask you some questions too. Tell them about your plants, the type of light in your room, and what your goals are. You can learn a lot from these conversations. Here are some examples of what you can ask about based on your interests. Do you like fast-growing plants? Ask about which plants grow fastest and how to encourage growth. Are you drawn to color or flowers? Ask if they have any easy-growing flowering plants. Hint, ask about begonias. Are you hoping to share your plants with friends? Ask which plants are easiest to propagate or raise babies from.
So how about what's your favorite question to ask somebody? That's also in the corner there.
I don't know. I always like to ask, I think this is actually my favorite question. What is your plant? What is your favorite plant and why?
Yeah, it does kind of tell you,
Mm-hmm.
and it can change. So, thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
So the book has lots of illustrations. I think you can probably still get it at Malaprops, along with many other
Mm-hmm.
wonderful kids books, grown-up
Yeah.
books, middle grade books. We love shopping at Malaprops,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, thanks for listening.
Mm-hmm.